My name is René Hueppi. I grew up in Switzerland, in Zurich, in the largest town, and went to school, elementary school, commercial school, and university in my hometown. Our family is a typical Swiss family, going back more than 1200 years. We are very proud here that the Swiss really made their stamp in this area. 110 years ago, CPR called the Swiss guides to come to Banff, Jasper, and Golden, and Revelstoke to develop tourism. And there's just now an exhibit, by the way, traveling through Western Canada about the Swiss guides. And they changed here a lot, the habits, how to dress, the tools they brought over, or how they climbed, the climbing techniques they had. And they brought a lot of tourists here. And they were actually the base of all these tourism activities. The first heli ski company were Austrian or Swiss here, and some are still. And we found that the Arrow Lake Valley here has the most distinct 4 seasons on this planet. The spring comes like an explosion, first hummingbird end of April, summer barely over 30 degrees, the fall into November sometimes, and winter nice and dry, not cold winters like in the prairies, and white Christmas guaranteed. Unfortunately, the first winter here, the winter 1994-95, was the coldest ever. They told us in BC for decades. We had no water, no power, no heating, nothing. The creek froze totally, where we depended from the water. So I had to get the water bucket by bucket from the creek, even for the toilet bowls. And there was only one fireplace in the house, and this was clogged up. But finally we got the systems back to work, because it only lasted 2 weeks, this very cold weather. We used the old shell of the house and rebuilt it from scratch. Only the rocks in the fireplace are still the same. So on this very spot, 16 years ago, or 16 years and a few months, we decided to buy the property. So this is a very easy mechanical system to keep the cycle steady. We let it run a little bit higher than the 60s you have in your household, because if the pool and hot tub and heating and cooking would jump in at the very same time, the system could collapse. We made this fish pond with the overflow of the domestic water system. That water, that little fountain there, shows me that the pressure for the whole house is okay. As we have our own hydro system, you see the line coming down the hill and going here into the shed. So this switch, this bar here moves up when you want to go on the grid, or if the power plant fails. This is an old saw for shingles. This plow is from 1930, and I made this, I call it stone plow, just welded together of old machine parts. Another piece here, I call it the iron tree. And then what we did to watch if the bear is here, it's very easy. You put rocks of that size in the moss, and the ants start to build their nest down under, and when it's turned, you know the bear was after the ants. As this valley looks like some parts of Switzerland just stretched, there are a lot of other Swiss here, and the difference between the two cultures are huge. First of all, we lived in a country where if the trains are 1 minute late, the CEO of the Swiss Railway gets bad phone calls or letters. And here when I went across Canada, the train had 6 hours late and nobody cared. So we had to learn to take everything a little bit more easy. We celebrate, of course, the national days and any events. And today with the internet, it's easy to link up. And there's a big and active interior Swiss club. And there's a big one in Vancouver, and there's another one in Calgary and Edmonton. And we exchange, of course, some things a Swiss needs, even if he's abroad, like some spices or the cheese, of course. And that's how we keep up. And we dress for the 1st of August up as we never had done it back in Switzerland. Here we wear the nice broaded vests and have our bonfire, as there's a tradition in Switzerland that you have a fire on all the hills at 1st of August. When I look where I traveled and met all these different cultures, I can only tell people here that they should think more tolerant to other cultures, accept how they are, and offer your own belief, your own traditions, and exchange a lot. When we had weddings, and there are different ethnic groups, Africa Canadian, Japanese Canadian, Chinese Canadian, Korean Canadian. So these family met here, some for the first time, and it was always a great experience. Of course, everybody is happy on a wedding anyways, and so it is easier for these cultures to meet. But we were very thankful that we have this chapel. We undertake everything like in a good gourmet cuisine. We take it the best from all the worlds and mix it up and present the menu.